Today we're going to talk all about Edmonton's real estate market and what's been happening in the month of June. So what is happening? We talked about the last few months recently in terms of, hey, is the market balancing or is the market still getting high? Is this a good time for me as a buyer to actually buy a house? Or as a seller, hey, kids are out of school, time to sell my house because it's easy and convenient for me to sell now. But are you going to get the results that you want? Let's take a look at how many new listings have come into the market in the month of June. So in the month of June, we've seen a decline in the number of new listings coming onto the market, which is quite normal because people were thinking about June. June is a crazy month for everyone who has kids finishing school and also just prepping for July and August, which is summer months. And we know that in Edmonton, when it becomes nice, people want to enjoy the weather, whether it be at the cabin, the lake, or on a trip, or getting out of Edmonton because school is out. So a lot less people are thinking about putting a house on the market. So no big surprise that it went down by 10% from the month before, because May is actually one of the busiest times to list your home and the highest chance, in my opinion, of selling in the whole entire year. Now, it doesn't mean your house can't sell in June. I'll show you the market stats in a second. However, let's take a look at how many listings we've seen come to the market total since the beginning of this year. We're upwards at 14,000 total since January to June, which is more than we saw last year. Last year, we see less inventory that came on the market, which means buyers had less choices, but buyers also had a higher interest rate last year as well. And this year, it's a little bit lower than it was last year, obviously not substantially lower like it was a few years ago, but it doesn't hurt that it's a little bit less for interest, but also everyone's headspace is kind of adjusted to understanding this is the normal if they're looking to purchase a home. So the total inventory in Edmonton area is just over 4,000 properties for sale. That is single family, that is condominiumized. If you watch our video on the week, during the week, usually it's Tuesday, but in the summer I've completely gone out of whack on our schedule. We usually update you every week to talk about the single family home market. And I just did an update and it's sitting around just 2,200. So about half of this inventory is condominiumized and half of it is single family homes. Now let's talk about sales. Hey, does anyone buy or sell in the month of June? Like I mentioned before, June's typically a busier time for people in the non-real estate sense. And the people in real estate, they're not seeing as many sales. So though we're still busy and keeping up with what's happening because there are people that do still want to move in the summertime, we did see a drop in sales in the month of June compared to May. Again, no surprise because you're comparing it to one of the busiest months of the year. And if you take a look at year-to-date sales, we've had just at 10,000, that is actually 10% more sales than last year at this exact time. So what does that mean for you as a buyer? It means buyers, there are more of you looking for homes that actually have put pen to paper. More buyers have actually written offers this year. And does it help that there's more listings to write on? Absolutely it does, because how do you even write more offers last year when you didn't have anything to even write on? So it's obviously moving. So as a seller, your chance of selling is still higher than it was last year. Even though there's more properties for sale, there's also more buyers on the market. So you have to kind of think of that. Typically people look at, hey, there's less listings for sale. If I put my house for sale, I'm one of very few, so my chances of selling are higher. Yes, that's true. But if there's very few buyers to buy that house, you could still also just be stuck, which we haven't seen yet. I have seen, however, homes that are still overpriced, homes that don't make adjustments, homes that are not even show worthy, just being thrown up at a certain price point because they think the market is going to do its thing because we're so much cheaper than Calgary. But that's not going to work. Buyers are still savvy, whether you're coming from Ontario or BC, you have expectations. Even the local Edmonton people still are looking to buy homes and they're not willing to overpay for a property. And sometimes when you look at multiple offers, you'll still see unconditional offers. We still saw that, and we actually saw that in the month of June. So let's just take a quick look at the average days on market. And if you take a look at this graph, it's interesting to see, and not a surprise, that the average days on market for detached homes was 29 versus 40 last year. No big surprise, we're moving properties faster this year. And for semi-detached, you're at 28 versus 35 days on market last year, so a little bit smaller of a window. But the biggest note of difference is actually the row townhouses. The average days on market last year at this time was 40 and it's now at 24, so it's a bigger jump. just kind of like the detached homes. And townhouses, in my opinion, are moving very quick because it's become the more affordable home to buy, because as the price continues to inch up, people's price point affordability still hasn't changed. So what they can buy is a little less than what you could have. Like, you could have bought, no joke of a lie, a front attached garage brand new home for the same price that you can buy a townhouse now. And that was maybe 5 years ago. So the prices have changed. Now, I'm not saying this to freak you out to go, oh no, we better buy a house right now, because if we buy that now, it'll jump up in the next 5 years. No, 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 no. We have had environmental things that are happening outside of our control that have increased the prices, the economy, everything is all part of that. You cannot just make decisions based on fear. So I just want to make sure I'm not telling you this to make a decision impulsively. You still need to figure out why you're moving here, and it cannot just be for the price. Sure, the price might be one of the things that attracts you here, but is the lifestyle what you're looking for? I know a lot of you who watch my videos are sometimes haters and don't like Edmonton. I don't know why you watch this channel, to be honest. And then those that you that are watching, you're seriously considering Edmonton, and you're going, yes, I like the affordability. I like that I can raise my family here. I feel like this is a place I can have my kids go to school. Those types of things, then that makes sense for you to make that move. If it's purely just for money, then maybe you consider buying an investment property and not actually moving your whole family here. But let's talk about the average price. What is the average price right now? The average price home for a single family detached home is just over $500 at $529. Now, this went down slightly from last month by 2.8%, but it has increased over 7% this year compared to last year. So if you're wondering, what is the average home price? It has gone up by 7%. My prediction was the 5 to 8% growth for this year total, because if you saw a couple months ago in my video, the increase was quite a bit higher, and I think it'll continue to stay pretty steady, and I don't foresee it dropping. I see it just being steady and not going crazy. If you take a look at semi-detached, the average price point is $425,000, and that's a year-over-year increase of 10%. These are those homes that are attached, like a duplex, but they're more affordable, so that's why I'm not surprised that these are now more expensive, because this is the price point most people want to be in, is that $400,000 to $500,000 price range. Now, if you take a look at the row townhouses, you're looking at an average of $285,000, and that is including condominiumized townhouses, not only the single family ones. Okay, so that's why it's so low. $285,000 is the purchase price, but don't forget the condo fees on top of that, of anywhere I've seen from $200 to $400 a month usually for townhouses. And then if you take a look at the condo, it's an average of $207,000. Both the row townhouses and the apartment condos saw a year-over-year increase of 12%. That market has not only increased in price, it's also odds of selling has actually increased. So it's really interesting to see what's been happening in the month of June. We want to see what's happening in the month of July. It's so hot right now. Do you think that's going to hinder or help the Edmonton real estate market?